Welcome guys, this is going to be a video for the beginners today. We're going to show them how to breed in PokeMMO. Now, if you've spent any time in PokeMMO, I bet you figured out that breeding is slightly different than in the mainline games. In this game, you don't just put Pokemon into the daycare and make copies of them. Well, in this game, you actually consume the Pokemon when you breed them. So here, I'm going to be showing you guys how to breed up this tyranitar into a very, very good competitive tyranitar. So what we're going to start with is actually, I'll show you what I've got here. This is my starting tyranitar. It's got the IVs here. All right, not good IVs, right? But we want to get these IVs up with 31s. We also want to give him an egg move, a very specific egg move to Tyranitar. If we check the Pokédex, we can actually see the egg moves. If you scroll all the way down, you can see these two egg moves, Pursuit and Stomp. Now, Pursuit is a very good move on Tyranitar, but it is an egg move, so how do we do that? How do we get Pursuit? Well, I have this Trico here prepared, and this Trico is in the same egg group, and so it can breed with Tyranitar. It also has the move Pursuit. So Pursuit will get transferred over to the Tyranitar when we breed them. So when we go over to the breeder, it's going to look like this. So I'm here at my favorite breeding place in Unova, the daycare of Unova. So each daycare is a breeding place. And you talk to the guy just outside the door. And here is the breeding screen. I'm going to pop my two Pokemon in. And we can see that the Larvitar that pops out is going to have the move Pursuit. So very important to have that move, and then we won't have to put that move in on any of our other breeds because we're going to be breeding this Larvitar up some more. Also, I have the special defense IVs are the same at 30 because I wanted that quite high, and we're guaranteed to get a 30 IV in special defense for our breed. The other ones are rolls. I don't really care about those because we're going to be rebreeding those anyway. But we can see when we go over this, it says 3 IVs will be passed, 3 IVs will be average. So that means that you're guaranteed not to get all high rolls, and you're guaranteed not to get all low rolls. Some of them will be average. Okay, so that's what that means. Here we go, we're going to breed these, and I'm not going to choose the gender. So this one's going to come out either male or female because you have to pay extra for the gender. So now I'm just going to wait for this guy to hatch. Okay, our breed hatched. Here he is. He came out male, and that's totally okay because I have a Ditto lined up to breed with him to make sure that he always stays a Larvitar. Now, if you're going to breed this with a monster egg group Pokemon instead of a Ditto, you're going to want to make sure that this comes out female because that will make sure that the next breed is a Larvitar as well. Because the female actually decides the species of the breed, whereas the male is basically just to help with the stats. But since we're going with a Ditto, it doesn't really matter. Here's the breed. We've got our special defense stat. We also have the move Pursuit. And I have a box ready to go with all the breeds that we're going to be making here. See, here's the Ditto that I'm going to breed with it. And then we have a Grovyle that we're also going to breed up to be another good breed for this Larvitar. Because if you keep using Dittos, they become very, very expensive. And then after that, we're going to put Nature on it, and it's going to be an amazing Larvitar. And I did some calculations. It should only cost us about 500k, which is pretty good for a fully kitted out competitive Tyranitar. All right, here's the stats on the Ditto. We're going to want to brace this HP stat, and we have the special defense stat is the same, so that should come out guaranteed 30. What we're going to do is we're going to come to this lady. This lady is in every single daycare. Just search for her. And she holds the braces. So here I've got the braces. Now, your strings probably don't show HP attack defense here, but it is the exact same. The power weight does HP, the power bracer does attack, power belt does defense. You can also see right here, it will show. But here, we're going to want to brace HP, so we'll buy one of these. I already have 18 of them, but we'll just buy one more, who cares? And then we're going to give that to our Larvitar. Here is the brace. Well, give it to the Ditto, actually. The Larvitar doesn't need anything. We don't need to brace anything for him on the first breed here. And this breed's only going to cost us 10k, basically for the brace. Well, actually, the Ditto costed some money, too. The Ditto costed about 12k, so keep that in mind when breeding. Sometimes it can get spendy. We're going to breed these two together, and I know that my next breed is going to be a Ditto again, so I'm not going to choose gender. Okay, here he is. Our Larvitar. He came out male. 31 HP and 30 in special defense, just as we wanted. And we're going to be breeding him up with this Ditto right here. It's got 31 attack and 30 in special defense. So we're going to want to brace the HP on the Larvitar and then brace the attack on the Ditto. So it should come out with a 31 in HP and a 31 in attack. And then also that 30 in special defense. That's what we're trying to do. So we come over here. We buy the two braces. I already have them. We put the braces on. So attack goes to the Ditto and HP goes to the Larvitar. We're going to breed these two together. And the very next breed, I also have a Ditto. So I'm not going to choose gender on this as well. Here we go. And I'll be right back. And time for the next breed. Here's the Larvitar. Came out female. We've got the IVs exactly how we want them. And then we have our Ditto right here. And this time we're going to be putting speed on him. So we have matching attack. We also have matching special defense. The only two differences are HP and speed. So we're going to have to brace the HP, and then we're going to have to brace the speed. So I need an HP brace on the Larvitar and a speed brace on the Ditto. So here we go, HP on the Larvitar and a speed brace on the Ditto. This should come out exactly how we want. We can preview it. And here's the preview. 31 HP guaranteed, attack 31 attack guaranteed, 30 in special defense guaranteed, and 31 speed guaranteed, exactly how we want it. 4x31. Here we go. Breed this guy up. And this time, we're going to want to make sure it's female. So I'm going to select female here. It's going to cost an extra 5k, but that is completely necessary. And while that's hatching, I'll show you exactly why it's necessary to make that female. Because if it were male again, and we'd have to breed that with a 4x30 or 4x31 Ditto, then it would be very expensive. So we're going to search Ditto here, search by 4. So if we didn't choose gender and it came out male, we'd have to breed it with Ditto. This is how much it would cost. So it costs 320k for the correct Ditto. So we don't want to pay that much, and instead we want to breed it with a male in the monster egg group. So we can search the same search, but instead we'll search gender male in the monster egg group and see how much cheaper it is. See 150k versus 320k, big difference. However, this is still kind of expensive, so I'm actually going to be breeding in order to make a breeder like this. And the Larvitar is done, so now comes the process of making the breeder for this one. So we need a 4x31 basically, except with a 30 in defense to make it good. And here I've got my things set up, so we're going to take this Grovile, and we're going to breed it with this Ditto. I'll show you the two. We've got these IVs for each of them. So we're going to want to brace the defense on the Ditto and the speed on the Grovile. So defense and speed. Defense on the Ditto and speed on the Grovile. Okay, and this one we don't care about the gender again because I have a Ditto prepared. So here we go. We're going to roll the special defense. It could actually come out with 31. However, it's a very low percent chance, only 12.5%. So we're going to breed these two. Not choose the gender. And here's the Trico. Came out adamant. Actually, that's pretty good. It came out adamant, which is really amazing. Makes me kind of want to sell this one, just because it would sell for a lot. But we're just going to keep going with the plan. Yeah, sometimes you get random rolls like that, which are really, really good. Because, yeah, the nature is a random roll. But here we go. We're going to continue with the plan. We're going to want to brace the attack on this Ditto, and we're going to want to brace the defense on the Trico. So defense on the Trico, and attack on the defense on the Trico, and attack on the Ditto. Here we go. Breed these two. See how it comes out. Looks like it's going to be, yeah, attack, speed, perfect, exactly how we want. Now this one we're going to want to make sure is male because we want to breed it with our Larvitar. So we're going to make sure this one's male. Yes, pay the extra 5k. And here it just hatched. It's got exactly the IVs that we wanted, and we've got our Larvitar to breed with it. So here we have to match the IVs. Okay, so we're missing HP, so that means we're going to want to brace the HP IV on Larvitar. We have the same attack, so we don't have to do anything for attack. We have different defense, so we want to brace the defense. We're not going to do anything for special attack because Larvitar is not a special attacker, or Tyranitar, rather, is not a special attacker, so we don't really need special attack. And then defense is the same and speed is the same. So we want to brace HP and brace defense. HP on the Larvitar. HP on the Larvitar and defense on the Trico. Here we're going to breed these two. And we're going to want to make this one female as well because we want to put nature on this Larvitar. We're going to want to make it adamant nature to really up that damage. So breed this one. We want to choose gender, make it female, and yes. All right, awesome. Okay, next we want to get started on our natured breed. So I have these two Pokemon prepared here. I've got this one is adamant, and then we're going to want to breed it up so that it's got those 4 stats that we want, and also adamant. So I have this one that's 4 statted. So it's 3 statted with the nature, and then 4 statted. So that's the only way to breed up a natured Pokemon. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to give an Everstone to the adamant Pokemon, because Everstones in this game keep the nature. Yeah, it doesn't say, but yeah, that's what it does. So we're going to give the Everstone to that guy. Also, let me check. What are the IVs like? Because here we have to match the IVs as well. And it looks like we're missing defense on our guy here. And we have our defense on the Lapras. So that means we want to brace the defense here on the Lapras. So we're going to use defense on the Lapras, and we're going to be transferring nature onto our Lapras. We're also going to want to make it male. Also, you may have noticed that this one is alpha. You can see alpha Pokemon. It's got that red outline. It's very pretty. Now, if you want to keep this red outline, you're going to want to breed it with another alpha Pokemon. But here, we're not going to be breeding it with an alpha Pokemon, so it's going to lose that red outline. I know, unfortunate, but it doesn't really make a difference in the competitive nature of the Pokemon. So here we go. It's going to come out as a Charmander because that's the female of the species. And we're going to breed this, and it's asking if, do you want to let this become a normal Pokemon? Because, yeah, I'm breeding it with an alpha. And I'm like, yeah, sure, it doesn't really matter. And here we are going to say, wait, yes. Okay, yes, move forward. And then no or yes, we want to make this male in order to breed with our Larvitar. So make this male. And here we have to wait for these two guys to hatch, and then we can breed them together. And while we're waiting, we can discuss a few things. So yes, you can see that I almost made a couple mistakes there because I'm trying to go and explain this stuff to you guys. But yeah, just make sure you're taking your time with breeding, because sometimes if you make a mistake, it can be very, very costly, especially when you're spending a lot of time and money on these different breeds. Also, I wanted to talk about the different egg groups. So you can only breed Pokemon with the same egg group. And here's all the different egg groups. We got Monster, Water Ape, Bug, Flying, like all these different egg groups. We also have Ditto. Ditto is in its own class. Now, you can't breed Dittos together. If you could, that would be OP. If you try to breed 2 Dittos together, it won't let you. So that's a good thing in the game. Trust me, it keeps the economy good. But don't worry, we all tried it. If you tried it, we all tried it, okay? And then there's also cannot breed. So cannot breed is going to be your baby Pokemon. And baby Pokemon, for this reason, are not worth very much. Yeah, because they can't breed. Also genderless. So genderless egg group is like Beldum, where it can only breed with Pokemon of its same species, actually. So yeah, genderless is in its own little egg group, and it could breed with itself or it could breed with Dittos. And there are certain baby Pokemon that you do want, like Munchlax. And in order to get Munchlax, you actually have to breed down a Snorlax, but it won't breed down just by breeding. You actually have to give the Munchlax an incense. Now, to get that incense, you come to this lady once again, and she actually sells these different incenses. Okay, and it doesn't say which Pokemon it is, but this one says Psychic Pokemon. Now, the one for Munchlax, I'm pretty sure is a lax incense, or no, I don't know, full incense? Maybe it's a full. Man, I actually don't know. I'd have to look this up. But yeah, she sells the incenses, which will give you baby Pokemon. That's the only function of these, so don't buy them unless you're going for basically a Munchlax. The other ones are pretty. They aren't used very much unless you're trying to complete your Pokédex. Our Pokemon are done hatching. Here we go. We've got our Adamant Charmander and our Calm Larvitar. Now we're going to breed this Charmander onto the Larvitar to make it Adamant. We have to brace the attack, or brace the HP on Larvitar, and then we have to brace the nature on Charmander. Now remember, to brace the nature, we use a Everstone, and we're going to brace the HP on the Larvitar. And then the rest are all the same. We could roll a 31 in defense too, which would be amazing. But it probably won't happen. We'll see. But here we go. We're going to put the Everstone on the Charmander and the HP brace on the Larvitar. Let's breed these two together. And this one, we don't really care what gender it comes out as because it's exactly the breed that we want. We have the egg move that we want. We have the nature that we want. Everything's going to be 100% like this. Let's breed them. We don't care about the gender. And it's going to come out exactly how we want it. Now, the great thing about this breed is it only costed us 500k, which, yeah, I know, it sounds like a lot, but it's a really amazing Pokemon. It's got almost perfect IVs. And if you were to breed this with perfect IVs, it would probably cost you around 800k, unless you got some lucky rolls with the nature. It might even cost more than 800k. So yeah, pretty crazy costs on breeding. So make sure that you have plenty of money. There are other ways you can make budget breeds, but if you want to be like really competitive, then perfect IVs is really awesome. Also, I'm leading my party with my shiny Camerupt, which has magma armor, which actually speeds up the process on hatching. We can see right here. So right here, magma armor, it says eggs will hatch faster. You can see it up here. There's also things like flame body, which will make things hatch faster. Okay, here is our beautiful Larvitar, Adamant, and we've got 31 HP, 31 attack, 30 in defenses, and 31 speed. Almost perfect. However, yeah, defenses don't really matter, especially if you're not putting any EVs into them. Then they really don't matter if it's 30 or 31, because it's the same exact stat at level 50. I do have a video on it. Make sure you check my other videos on the channel. But if we wanted to buy a Pokemon like this off the GTL, let's see how much that costs. Here they are. 920k for a perfect Larvitar. We made this one for just under 500k. So yeah, I'd say we got a pretty good deal on that. That's all for this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If I missed anything, make sure to let me know in the comments, and make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video.